world before you come. Oh, anything where you see for this world, whether good or bad, make you take am so. Now so everybody come in the world. We dey advise you say, any work where you dey work, make you put your mind there and work and fine. Make you not dey talk like, make your yes be yes, your no be no. Then you go live well for this world. So God go bless you, give you long life, give you many birthdays again. So God go bless you, give you long life, give you many birthdays again. Say thanks to you, happy birthday to you. You go live long for say thanks to you. We beg God to give
Happy
you
birthday
many
to you. Say thanks to you.
Happy birthday
To you.
we did the born you.
Say thanks to you.
How many months
Happy
ago?
birthday to you.
How many weeks
Say
ago?
thanks to you.
How many years
Happy
ago?
birthday to you.
You go live long for
Say
this
thanks to
world.
you.
Mama, yeah.
Happy birthday to you.
Today now your birthday. Now the day where you come to join the people where be don't stay for this world before you come home. Anything where you see for this world, whether good or bad, make you take am so. Now so everybody come in the world. We dey advise you say, any work where you dey work, make you put your mind there and work and fine. Make you not dey talk like, make your yes be yes, your no be no. Then you go live well for this world. So God go bless you, give you long life, give you many birthdays again. So God go bless you, give you long life, give you many birthdays again. Say thanks to you.
Happy birthday to you.
You go live long for
Say
this.
thanks to you.
Long life to you.
Happy birthday to you.
How many years
Say
ago?
thanks to you.
How many weeks
Happy
ago?
birthday to you.
Anyhow you did.
Say thanks to you.
We dey beg God to give
Happy
you long life
birthday to
again.
you.
Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday to you.
Long life,
Say thanks to you.
Baba, yeah.
Happy birthday to you.
Good evening, folks. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you so much for joining us here. I'm Alphonso Zean Soe of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. We say good evening. Thank you so much. The family, the followers of Liberia Public Radio, wherever you are, we say thank you so much for all of our view done. I'm not sure what I'm able to count everybody here, but I will try to do the best I can to acknowledge your commitment, not to us as an individual, but to the network. And this is what we intend to do. So let us just have it's our birthday? 57. My goodness. Thank God. If you can just hit the share button, that would be so great for all the work that you have done. Oh man, what a good Nigeria this evening. And for Fananta, good evening, welcome. Thank you for all of the support. Mr. Jean Norris, of course, Ambrose Kalon, and our man Achimo Frederick, good evening. Thank you for your commitment to this network, not to us as an individual, because we can leave here anytime, but the network to survive. Rachel Sifos, exclusive online TV. Good evening. Thank you so much. Gunplay. Alice Niensua, thank you so much. Willie Hinent and Gela, they are my own dear sisters. Good evening. Thank you so much for being here. Oh boy, what a day here.
We say thanks to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
And to all of those are going to be celebrating or even celebrating today, we say happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. How many years ago? Say thanks to you.
It's 57.
Happy birthday to you. You go live long for the
Oh yes, I receive it. I claim it. We all should live long. We all could live long.
You go live long for the thanks to you. Make your hands speak. Happy birthday to you.
Oh,
You go live long for the thanks to you. Happy birthday.
Welcome, my man Ali Ukroma, namesake. That's talking about man Alphonso Taylor right there in PA. Thank you so much for all of your commitment to this network.
Say thanks to you. Happy.
This is a special day in everyone's life. So,
Say thanks to you. Prince Nico say happy birthday.
oh yes, please go in Varga.
Prince Nico say thanks to you.
Oh boy.
Happy birthday to you. Happy. Say
For us,
thanks
good
to you.
evening. Thank you so much.
Happy.
And Papu Coleman. Oh man, what a beautiful day here from the East Coast. And I want to say thank you to all of our viewers, listeners across the globe. Mr. Nelson, I knew you were going to be right here because he's always just on time to make sure to know and be part of all of the happenings. We say good evening to all of our viewers, listeners across the globe. Thank you so much. It's unbelievable. Your support to this network is just beyond the pales. Let's get the ball rolling right here. Even though it's birthday, but we still have a commitment to the community, to the society, to our country, and most importantly, to you. I will say good evening. Thank you for the messages, the tweet, the comment, the inbox, and everything that been coming forth from you. It's unbelievable. Uncle Squiage, good evening. Thank you so much. I am Alphonso Zean. Ooh, wow. Birthday, birthday, birthday. It's remarkable. 57th, I want to say it good evening. Thank you to all our supporters, our followers in the diaspora, outside of the diaspora, in the Beltway, outside of the Beltway, the politicians, both sides, the independents, if there's any. We say thank you so much for your commitment to this network. I was overwhelmed because of your kind gesture, the tweets, the comments, the inbox that come in, the messages, voice messages, all angled, WhatsApp, InSub, whatever it is, just to extend, not that we are special, but it brings into mind, it bears into mind our closeness as a people, as a nation, and as a community, despite of our differences in the political sphere, which will always exist, but must be able to distinguish. There must be something that must bring us together, regardless of our positions in life and things that we do. And birthday is a very unique, it's a very unique event in itself from year to year. That's huge, that's significant. There are others today who are just willing to have that mouth to talk, but they are either in bed, they are either lying there in hospital. That one, it doesn't matter where you are, whether you are in Liberia, you are in America, anywhere planet Earth. Things happen and you just do not have the strength for yourself to even pick up your own phone call. So the gap is huge. So if we manage, not that we are special, not that we are perfect, not that everything about us is 100% by perfection, but it takes the grace of God and his forgiveness to make sure that he gave us second chance or second chances to recalibrate, to reposition ourselves, to take a second thought of our decision making, things that we do. We offend people to necessarily without any reason, and in the split second, we take a second thought. I should have said this to my friend. Or we should control our emotions, the temperament. We should have control over it to the extent that if someone on purpose or indirectly tend to offend us, we must take a second thought before we answer. Because my mom and dad told me, he said, the word is like a back of the tree. For those of us, the country guy, Eloquia knows that, Alphonso Zean knows that. When you were a village boy who used to go on the farm to fell tree, when you take the axe or the cutlass, the first one that you hit, that bar, when it drops, you can't put it back. There's nothing. It's just like when a liquid or water spill, it goes on. If you can try to dip or but, a good portion will go on. That's how the world looks like. This is why when you are talking to people, you must have a second thought, because people are there to listen. And you don't say it as a human being. That one, it's not no man, woman business. It's not good to always say, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. It is a great weakness of a man, of a mankind. That's why you must always have a second thought, throwing things out there. But we are human ones. We are all humans. No one is infallible. We make mistakes, and sometimes we say things that we shouldn't say. But even in that event, if it does happen, the best thing to do is to have that courage. Go to that friend. Look, Frederick, I'm sorry. What I said to you, I should have done that, but my emotions or something just took me off track. But we become defensive, even if it is undefensible. That is, we are wrong, knowing very well within our conscience, but something called proud something called ego. It keeps in us. Who that man there? Who that woman there for me to say, I'm sorry? Older than he. Not even reach me at this, that. These are all components of society that kind of sort of divide the society. So on this days, on this date, I was not a surprise in the sense that we are all community people. We all do things together, but the number of course. But interestingly, among all, you never knows what you're doing until sometime it becomes reality if it is confronted. There was a phone call that I received today. I was shocked. I never had a thought. It came as a, sometimes people calling from Liberia, either the number display, you know the number, or it came a private, unknown, or some people you just don't have their number. But that voice that came in today, I like, they just call the first name. I like, who is this? And I was like, thank you for what you do. Even though sometimes you slam us, I'm like, oh, but I just called to say happy birthday. I monitor you regularly. Let me bring in Jones Otavio Smiles. He's based here in the Ocean State of Rhode Island. Okay. Are you saying just today your own birthday, my man? Today your birthday as well?
Yesterday.
What?
Mm-hmm. But it was at a low key, so you know, the April people, they sometime.
Oh my goodness.
The people conclude that we form part of the bag that is we form part of the stupid bag, but unfortunately we are on the opposite.
Yeah.
Mm.
There are a lot of great people. I don't know. What is birthday? Why should we even celebrate birthdays? Why should we consider that? How important? Is it important?
Well, moderator, I think is very important because let's go a little bit, that retrospect a little bit. When a woman gets pregnant, it's like she between life and death. And so when she succeed to give birth, I don't know about other people, but it should be a celebration. And for some reason, if that child survive, that successful birth,
Mhm.
I think we should also honor that too, because these are, for me, I see all of those things to be miraculous. These are all miracle. I'm telling you, because a child is born today, sometimes the child even die on the spot, and sometimes the mother even pass away. Yes. So when the mother succeed to live and get that beautiful son or daughter, I mean, for me, I'll always give you your flower. And that child, for me, I think is historic. That day get your first breath, you were born on earth, and I think it should be occasional. It should be an occasion that you should celebrate. Yeah,
Hmm.
because it should rather be an occasion because I can't really understand how it works. It looked like a miracle to me at times. And that's the reason why when a woman gave birth, I pray God, I praise the Lord, I thank you, I give them their flower. And when the child come alive,
Mhm.
that's another miracle. You see. And so you just retrospect that day when mom was in pain and gave birth to you successfully while she lives and you live, you know.
Because the both the child, the moms, they are almost like a piece of cloth between the scissor. The mother, the child, both of you.
That's it.
Why we the father when we do that now doing my woman gonna be giving birth. But there are a lot of things happening that uh, in the medical world, you never know complications, different stuff happens. You never know. It's like the model between life and death, and even the child. But the child, when you don't even see the child yet, but first and foremost, you want the mother to be safe. So it's a very critical point. Is it forced for somebody to tell me happy birthday? If anybody, be a friend, if they don't, because and there's a program coming here soon. Coming here soon. So we're going to go to that. But it's a force, even though we are friends. It's my birthday, so it's a force. And even if you don't say it, I take that personal. These are little things. Other things other people take to heart, and they have a lot of effect into a relationship. And I mean, talking to people connection. Is that real or false?
Well, on the flip side, it seems to be
So what
something.
I would do here, I will get a lot of issue, not to cut you off, Mr. Jones. I'm going to throw the link here. If you just want to share this evening with us, yes, join us. We're going to transition. I'm not going to take my birthday. There are bigger things happening. Somebody told me today whether you went to work. I say, yeah, I got to go. I have a responsibility. I have the people job to do.
Yeah.
So that's where choice of preference kick in. Celebrate your birthday, take anything, ISO, anything, whatever, and then do the people job. Let's see tomorrow if you're out of job, whether you even be able to buy your. So we have something to do. Yeah, go ahead. And I'm going to put a link here, folks. If you want to join us, of course, we're just having a little bit conversation here on these dates. But we're going to be, if you see the middle there, today is Freedom Watch. You're going to be taking on a wide range of issue. The clock. Who this political clock? Whose favor and why the clock is taken away? And so who it favors right now? We're going to have that conversation here. But go ahead, Jones.
Yeah. With reference to whether someone wishing you birthday is false. First of all, I want to clarify that birthdays are private. These are private things. But looking at coming into this world, for me, I think birthday are good things where you get to your friends and say happy birthday. After all, you also have a birthday. And to be frank with you, sometimes you feel happy, you feel good. When someone call you and say, "Oh, Mr. Moderator or Mr. So, happy birthday." You feel you feel that, oh, you have a friend sitting somewhere to remember that day. They don't know what all you went through to get to the age of 57. It take a lot. If you try to go into the story of your 57th birthday from day one to 57th year,
That's a lot.
we might sleep on this platform. Some people birthday took them through the war. They passed through checkpoints.
I'm not exempted from that.
They even survived. Some could not succeed easily to pass the checkpoints. Their birthday came to an end that day. You see? So for me, sometimes I try to give it a low profile, but it is not really false. But I think from where we come from, that compassionate way we live as African, I think when someone birthday come, like friend that your relative, I mean, you just call them and wish them happy birthday. For one reason.
What is that reason?
That reason is they succeeded to come that far. And the second reason is that they are alive. Compared to some of their peers of the same age group.
Should we celebrate one another once who is alive? Should we celebrate that?
Yes, I think so. It's not false, but as a rational being, I think so. Yes, like I can remember my daughter turned 12, and I decided to organize her birthday. and she was so excited. Probably she don't know why she was excited. But I was also excited because she's gone 12 years alive.
So,
And I'm also happy as a dad to celebrate with her. At
right.
least I'm around to see her 12th birthday. So there are so many things factoring in there, Mr. Moderator.
I'm a jealous guy. You brought in your daughter now, so I'm going to talk about my daughter. So, guys, good evening. Thank you so much. It's amazing. Your comments, your tweets, we see it. Those some people send messages, and I mean that's just about it there. But the link is out there. Very shortly we'll transition to Liberia's conversation. But we're just kind of doing like a little rehearsal here on some of the things. Some people take it personal, some not. I say, well, I'm not fools after all. The time my own birthday came the last time he ever made a comment. So that sort of Israeli Palestinian step, you hit me, I hit you twice.
Yeah.
So
But Mr.
for birthday.
I think I don't know, but I feel that it's about time that we revamp this birthday thing.
Where you come from? To revamp it or what?
Yeah, I think it's about time that when our birthday comes,
our who now?
I mean, gentlemen as a whole, not only us on this platform.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I strongly believe that when your birthday comes, instead of we celebrating, we should rather give flower to our mothers and celebrate them for a great job done, rather than celebrating for ourselves. That's the reform I would want for the birthday to take right now. Yes.
So we should ignore, welcome my own man, Daniel Bashir in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. Thank you so much for joining. So we should take our birthday, instead of us celebrating, we say, well, we give it to our mothers.
Yes. Not give them the flower. Let's celebrate them rather than celebrating ourselves for a great job they have done.
I'm going to make you president temporarily for Republic of Liberia only on this year. You're not even living from Rhode Island to go to Connecticut or even Massachusetts. So we still have a president in the country. So if you are president today, that would be your executive ordinance or what?
No.
Why?
Because it's private. Birthday is private.
So
I just say that
you make it optional.
Well, I could make a proclamation and make a suggestion to the people of Liberia that we should look at birthday differently this time.
Proclamations in most cases, proclamation carry executive ordinances. So when it's a proclamation, literally you are either saying holiday, working holiday, so how are you going to do that?
No, if I make it a proclamation with executive ordinance, I think I will be abusing my authority. And someone could hold me responsible for abusing my authority on something that I want.
And violation of, the next thing, what we're going to accuse people of, violation of
the Constitution.
The Constitution.
And I could even be charged for being very presidentially unethical. So what I could do, this is what I'm going to do. I will celebrate my mother's birthday and call all the top hierarchy stakeholders to come and tell them that this is how I will begin to celebrate my mother's birthday going forward. Let us celebrate our mother rather than celebrating ourselves. So I'm throwing it out there. Those who want to buy the idea, you can buy the idea. So I make it in a very social form of presentation to the audience.
So you're president, you're going to call your ministers, your directors. What's about the lay people, the ordinary librarians out there who, because those people, they have something to eat. You're going to be popping the champagnes and all of that. But the ordinary people out there, you're going to lead in there, or what are you going to do?
Yeah, but I got to be careful now. As a president, if I make it too elaborate, then I will be moving into misusing government funds.
Uh-oh.
And someone could ask me,
so
how the president making his mother's birthday special?
But the one that you're going to be using, who fund that? And how do we determine whether it's not government fund? Because there are always allocation for you're the big people. There's some sort of budget, there's some sort of provision always made.
Okay, then the public will need some clarification where the money came from for that kind of program. Now I'm under obligation to make that clarification to them.
You are doing that right now, but when you become president tomorrow, trust me, that clarification, correctness will come into place. You will never do that, correct? Let's be honest. Let's turn this camera off and nobody watching us.
No, to be frank with you, I agree with you 100%. But if I'm asked, I will provide some explanation.
Why should we have to ask you? We put you there, you're doing something we need to know. Should we beg for it?
Oh, why if I'm using petty cash?
From where?
Oh, the president have got petty cash for his own operation.
Who provides that?
Well, if from state coffers.
Government?
Yeah, if from state, the petty cash from state coffers.
So don't we what could happen if you were requesting for petty cash? What your petty cash would be like for your birthday?
Maybe I'm traveling to 1 or 2 counties.
For your birthday?
Oh, for my birthday? Mm-hmm. Oh, no. For my birthday, I'm not going to request for petty cash because that's private thing.
You're going to use your own money?
Yes.
How do we determine that?
Where the problem comes from. Because no one wants to believe that the president had made a clarification about his personal money and money from government. You see? So that's going to be a problem also. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to let the Oma organize the birthday.
Oh, now you're saying now?
No,
the first lady?
No, yes. No, not the first lady. The first lady
your mother?
Yes. So I will let the Oma organize the birthday. And I go there. I said, this is my birthday.
So let's see. What would be the age of that Oma?
Well, 76, 86.
Does she have a source of income?
My mother?
When she organizing birthday now, because what you're trying to do now, you're trying to avoid us as a citizen, so you can't provide the explanation. That's the loophole you are finding now. So you throw it on the old lady, and you know the old lady will not call a press conference, but you there, you're passing cartoon and stuff going on the ground, right? You'll be carrying them.
Yeah, you see, this is what makes government functionaries so complex. You see, because no matter how I do it, there will still be some eyebrow raised somewhere. You see? So why if I tell the public that, well, I'm organizing my mother's birthday and this coming from a portion of my yearly salary?
You're changing plenty to changing now.
So what happened? What happened to that? Someone will say I'm lying as a president?
Then why you decided to give it to the mother? Why you can't come out honestly and tell the people I'm celebrating my mother's birthday, 76 or 80th birthday?
No, I said I'm celebrating my birthday. But this time now I'm reforming it. I'm rather giving the honor and the glory to my mother. So I'm not celebrating myself anymore. Anytime my birthday comes, I celebrate her. And when her birthday comes, we also celebrate her.
You call all the BB people.
Yeah, I call all the BB people. Those who want to call, it won't be false.
So if we were to give you a chance, good evening, Amos George. If we were to give you a chance, I think you will cut that idea off, right?
So if I'm giving a chance, this is a philosophy I would want to sell to the country. That this time going forward, we should begin to think how we celebrate our mother that brought us forth on this earth instead of celebrating ourselves. That will be a new concept I want to introduce to the Liberian people. It's not false. I won't make it false. I won't make it by proclamation. But I will put it into practice.
You president, it will be plenty of trouble.
Oh, I think some people will appreciate me for, especially the mothers. They're going to come around.
It's a very good idea, but the explanation. Okay, Mr. George, good evening. You know, like my daughter today, she calls and called to reach me.
Mr. Moderator, why if I took a loan for
You
my
coming
for
along
the
again? You
celebration.
coming
Yeah,
along?
why if I
You
took
coming along
alone?
again? Okay. Our man, okay, we hold people responsible here. So our man, Bossy Matthew is saying, what's about our father? So what's about the papier what's about the papier too now? You get what now? Okay. Okay. Good evening, guys. We say thank you so much, Mark, and all of you great people. Thank you, Pa Joyce. Thank you for coming in. And my daughter, she calls this morning to wish me happy birthday. It was actually at work, and I told her, say, I'm at work. She said, oh, Daddy, you working today? Today, your birthday, you working? I said, hey, you don't know my daughter, she's in Liberia. And the thing about it is just 3 days. On the 5th, she's going to be, she said, are you celebrating? I said, no, I prefer you to celebrate your birthday. Little blessings. And she's going to be, what, 18 on the 5th of April, just 3 days between us. Beautiful daughter, she's there in Liberia. I say, I would prefer, let me work for the money and let me make you happy. And trust me, I know she's gonna do it because she already sent her on a budget. So I said, oh, say, yeah, I need plenty, but I want to go to do for the dresses part. Some of the dresses already when she got it, so she's happy. I say, you know what? I don't need to celebrate a birthday. I just want to be grateful to the Almighty for the time and all what He has done for us. So you go ahead, you celebrate, you enjoy yourself, and we will. And I think we should cheer you. 57. I'm just grateful and happy that I reached this 5 by His grace and mercy. I'm not in hospital. I'm doing well. And so that should be okay. Good evening, guys. Amos Joy from the far right Atlanta, Georgia. Good evening. Welcome, guys. We say thank you so much. For those of you who want to join us yet, don't hesitate. You can join the conversation. Sometimes we need to have this conversation. But again, I'm very, very much. I am grateful to all of our followers, friends, whether you agree with our talking point or not, but that was something. But the phone call that I received today, I was shocked. I was shocked. I didn't see it coming at all. I didn't see it.
Whoa. Wait, let me say something for you.
Don't cause trouble here. I just say I received.
No, hold on, but wait, I can't wish you happy birthday again. What I told you?
Because there are who there. The next thing you want to ask me who called.
Oh man, Mali.
Yeah.
You see what happened now? He called my name.
Yeah.
Introduced me.
Yeah.
I want to wish him happy birthday. Then he say,
"Oh no. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. But I know you, my man. I know you. Then I will start hanging. Oh, that who you start stuttering by force. I know who the person. We need to know the next thing.
Last year we spoke about my birthday. I said I don't celebrate birthdays, so I don't bother about it.
Oh, you don't celebrate birthday?
No.
Okay.
I really don't care. But for people, now don't get me wrong, I always call my friends, wish them happy birthday, everything. But for me, and if I tell people one of my birthday, you'll be laughing. So my sister called me the other day. I was going to bed. I think I'm still hit my phone, put it on don't disturb. My sister called me that morning. Can't get me. Text, I was not even looking. Then I look. Later on, my wife called me. What happened? I said, oh, let me check. She said, but your sister been trying to call you.
Matthew say he said to you, don't say.
I don't celebrate birthday. So
No, when you say you don't celebrate, are you talking party wise or anything? I'm not celebrating. I'm not doing anything because if I'm going to do like a celebration, I would say let me take the day off. I decided not to do it.
No, I mean, I don't call it because what is celebration? I mean, for the day I know it's my birthday, that's okay. Who call me? I don't have a plan. You don't call me. I don't have a plan. But I'm always cognizant of other people's birthdays because I know how some people take it.
So I call people on their birthday to wish them happy birthday, anything. But personally, me, if people don't call me, they don't remember. I got no face with them. I got no face with them. But maybe Mario will start
My
changing
man,
my
hand on me, you say I'm a giper. I say, my man,
because Mario
go
will start
ahead.
changing my perspective from what he just said. I will follow the show. Maybe he will start changing my
Okay, well, let's say, I think, Mr. So, you need to give chance to Pastor Amos Joy from Atlanta. He is a, oh, seriously, Willie? He's our ambassador from Georgia to, man, is he based in Atlanta, Georgia?
Oh,
Willie Henne, is he in Atlanta, Georgia?
well, let me say thank you to Mr. Wayne. Actually, I don't know whether he resides in Atlanta, so I don't. I can't say so, but I want to tell him thank you for the thought and making me an ambassador now. So maybe that my birthday gift. That's my birthday gift. You see.
You don't celebrate birthday. Why you want birthday gift?
But
But do you take gift?
someone we talk about it. Someone say ambassador. So okay. But well, thank you, man.
Or do you accept gift?
I really don't, except by surprise. I don't. Maybe someone like my wife would do some surprise and say, "Oh, this one for you." But other than that, I really don't.
But do you celebrate the kids' birthday?
Oh yes. Oh no.
Oh, okay.
Oh
Yeah, like I told my daughter,
no,
I'm like, you
no.
know what? I'm
Oh,
just
no.
gonna take care of you. You do. They're gonna do your photo. Blah blah
Of
blah blah.
course.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. We are about to shift the conversation to our many viewers. Listener, we say thank you so much for
But
joining
as I said, Mali,
us,
maybe what I heard you
celebrating.
saying, maybe my perspective start changing on it now because. But one thing I would tell you really is the mothers,
Yeah.
because someone that came from traditional background, I always say, I imagine that poor woman got to pull you on her back, walk 1 hour plus to go on the farm, work, then put you on her back to bring you back in the town. She's feeding you with tete. Man, that's a whole lot for traditional mothers.
That's a whole lot. Okay, guys, thank you so much to all of our viewers.
Somebody around and they need a woman to go different place. They're gone. She dead. She gotta go cook. She gotta scratch the farm. She gotta feed the baby. They're gone. They go on their palm where they can't drink it. They can't sit down there and start talking crap to that woman. And she gotta put
All
up with
right.
it.
But I want to say thank you to everybody.
But by the way, who called you? Who is this surprise call?
You see, I told you, right? I told you. Yeah. Oh, that's what I was trying to avoid and stay. Well,
No, that's okay. That's okay.
I'm not gonna call Nate. You know
No,
that
that's
one. I'm not
okay.
gonna call Nate. I mean,
That's
yeah.
okay. Yeah, for the
I
phone.
just it just make me to realize things that we do. It doesn't matter what especially let's say things that you do in public. You don't take it for granted. And it's a clear indication people are listening. Whether they are in Liberia, any part, they are listening. All the funny Japanese name, you can see people watching. You won't even know whether they're Liberian, this and that. Trust me, they are listening. I don't know why Facebook have this way of fictitious name. Why they do that? But anyway, people want to be that's that. But I was grateful. It was just a plain one. Oh, Mr. So just call. It was a LPR number to call. I mean, we display the number. It's on WhatsApp and stuff like that. So it just came that kind of way. I said, oh. But anyway, it is what it is, and it was a good one. Okay, guys, let's shift the conversation. We say thank to all of our viewers and listeners right here on LPR. I'm Alphonso Zean Soe. This is Freedom Watch with the analyst. Okay, let's get into our conversations as it relates to Liberia. Gentlemen, the clock is eating. the elections, we are within the proximities of the elections. So the question now becomes, who's the game really favors and why? It's a difficult, convoluted question here in terms of how one going to explain it, but you're going to provide the basis as well. But the clock is eating. Time is running out. We are getting closer every day, and there are some important pieces of information to yet to have in terms of all of those that are contesting. What is the hold up? What is the conversation are they having? What is the uncertainty? Are they aware that something will disfavor them at the end of the day? Or am I correct to say the clock is eating away? Famous George.
Yeah, you are right. And time is on no man's side, so the clock is ticking away. But as a free thinker, I started to think, looking outside, what is going on here? Uh, last yeah, let's okay, last week, I saw a group of young men at Belekasa Hotel. They say CPP youth. They said they were comprised of Unity Party, Liberty Party, ANC, and LP, calling on Joseph Boakai and Cummings to work together. Then I said, okay, what is hand behind this group? Hosting the meeting at Belekasa Hotel, who is sponsoring it? Who is paying for it? Then I'm starting to wonder, what is happening within the opposition bloc? Why breaking the feet or whatever to come up with the running mates?
Are you getting concerned now? Not to interrupt you. Are you getting concerned of what is happening right now?
I'm getting concerned. On one hand, on the other hand, I'm like, is there a backdoor, some backroom talk going on between Alexander Cummings and Joseph Boakai? Because this thing I'm not understanding it. Why these people are dragging their feet to name a vice running mate? They have been like, bro, all those years, up to now, they never had nobody in mind that said, 1, 2. If anything, I can take 1, 2, 3. I can take someone from there, and it's going like this. So I begin to wonder. Some conversation is going somewhere between these people. Hey, now let me make this clear. I have no source. I'm speculating. So please, nobody should come here to ask me for evidence. Or nobody should come here and call to say FPRC said it. No. It's my own observation. I'm a free thinker. 4 political youth parties had a meeting at Belekasa Hotel. Who sponsored that meeting? They are calling for Joseph Boakai and Cummings to come together. And all the political parties, major players, nobody is seeing any test lip. What is happening to the V-stick? So I'm surmising there's some conversation going over. But time is not on either side. The government is in the government. They said, and the person has an edge because he can use a bulletproof pick. So he can use that. Anywhere he go is not a form of campaigning. So he has an edge in that direction. So I'm wondering why the opposition, they are dragging their feet like this. Time is not on our side.
So, Mali, Jones, Mr. Jones, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, let's have our folks. Let's have people here. That's the link out there. Just copy and paste that link. Elvis, I'm still not seeing your image. Make sure if I see your image, I'll be able to get you in. I'm just seeing you backstage. If I see your image, I'll be able to get you in. What is going on? What is lacking here? Why are people just leaving us hanging like this? Is that fair to the Liberian people? Why we can have a complete full team if these people strongly believe they are political institutions, they are coming to electoral process or coming making a decision to participate. There are some things that you need to have in place. It's like you want to get married. You got to first of all get a woman the ring. The basic thing you need to put them together. So what is happening? What is the hold up? Evans, maybe you want to go off and come back. Let's see. I'm not seeing your image, so just go off and come back. If I see your image, then I'll be able to bring you in. But those of you who are watching, you want to form part of the conversation, like we say on this network, it's all about Liberia, not about us, regardless of our positions, whether you like it or not. That's okay. You have the right to differ with us. Copy and paste that link and join the conversation here. Who is? I mean, the clock is just who is a favor and why? What is going on? So, Malice, let me come to you. We are talking about a couple of months now. He comments, whatever quarter, and this is why journalists should be able to nail politicians. Do not allow these people to just give you some kind of questions and they just, answer and you just go. You got to follow up. They get different tones. So let's ask the question: how many days now? We'll go back to NEC website now. We are really in the time. Why all of these other parties besides CDC? Why are they unable to produce running mate? We need to know why.
Well, I think like what analyst George said, the various political parties, I think they know the significance of this election. They know that they are doing everything to make sure to change the dynamics on the ground. So I agree with you 100%. The clock is kicking. And I think we have 6 more months to election time. So it's not only the running mate. Yes. It's not only the running mate I'm really concerned about. I'm even concerned about the campaign. You see, I see the various political party. I don't know what are they really campaigning, but I see the kind of a lukewarm activity going on. And I had an insider that called me yesterday from the CDC camp. And you will not believe the information that was relayed to me. This friend of mine told me that they are wasting no time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Said they are wasting no time. Now they have engaged into night campaigning. They are campaigning at night now. So even the daytime is no more adequate for seditions. They even went to a friend of my house, 10:30, a group of them to talk to him. This is how serious CDC is taking this campaign. But maybe the opposition may be doing their own thing, but I don't know whether they're doing it behind closed door or how they're doing it. But actually, I'm not seeing no action on the ground. Maybe they're doing something that we really don't know. But actually, I don't see that action. And when it comes to the issue of their vice standard bearers, I don't know. Because picking a vice standard bearer, there's so much involved. One, is he or she marketable? Does he or she have a constituent? The issue of credibility. do they have the mechanism to make sure that this number game is successful from their own perspective? So picking a number two man or woman is not an easy thing, because it's like the vice president could be a president in waiting just in case the unusual happen. So the vice president must be up to speed. The vice president, for our status, the vice president should have a constituent to speak to. You see, from my own analysis, I think the vice president should be that mature type of politician, not emotional. I mean, he has this personality that we can listen to. I mean, he's a man that can pull and he can penetrate, but he should have that domain where people can listen to him. He should be like an elder where we the young people can listen to, the old people can listen to. So it's like picking a vice president, there are a whole lot involved right now.
I don't know, Elvis. I don't know why I'm not seeing your image. Which browser are you using? You should be using like a Google Chrome. I'm not sure why. Oh, the only way I will be able to get you in if I see your image. So you need to allow access to your camera and mic. See whether you can do that through Google Chrome or so. I'm not sure why I would not get in your image. So the sellers suggest that these people, there's no strategic plan for them. And I kind of want to agree with you, because this is part of the campaigns, or what should I say? Special vetting thing, which is also will be a part of a strategic campaign structure. From day one, when someone declares his or her candidate say, I want to contest, before even doing that, then in a good planner, you might have had some backdoors discussion with certain people. This is what I want to do, and I need your support. I mean, are they just unable to do that? Or you have Ambassador Boyka on the side, you have Mr. Cummings on the side. They are, I don't know, it's a wait and see attitude. Councilor Tawan Gonglo, okay. We don't know where Jeremiah Kong. And the action, I believe, by Senator Prince Johnson is deliberate to create a political havoc among those people, since he kind of disconnect with CDC. We want to make NEMA crucial and be like a swing battleground state that some politicians or these stakeholders, they will pay key attention to NEMA. He left the stage. There's no way that he's going to contest. It doesn't sound right. He's not going to go anything. So he's contained to where he is. So let me bring in the young face, a young generation who can get a side of attraction politically. Jeremiah Kume incited into the place. He's taking a tour, moving all around. He's having consultative conversations. What he's doing to building his own credential that will make him marketable to the two, the Kun, the Boyka, or obviously Tiawan Gonglo is from there, so he's not going to have that sort of conversation there. So the strategy by Prince Johnson is MDR is very strategic. Does it matter who Boyka or Coleman picks at this point in time? Male, female? Do they need any? Because President Weah get a female running mate. Do they need to appeal to that demographic too as well, that voting bloc? Is that something you think voters going to be looking at? Okay. Oh, let me see. There's a call coming in from Liberia. I hold a call to participate. Let me, before. Okay. Good evening, caller. Uh-oh. Why they went off?
Mr. Moderator.
I think, yeah, my library WhatsApp number working. Yeah, go ahead. The first caller you can call back. Let's see. I'm not sure what. Yeah,
Let us, yeah, let us go back. Let us go back down memory lanes. I can remember the late Samuel Kanyendo has similar problem.
why are you cutting one ring one time you cut off? Oh, I'm calling different number. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can remember the late Samuel Kanyendo had similar problem with his VP. So finally, he came out with the late Harry Monoba from the Lofa County. And he came out with the name of Harry Monoba for three reasons. One, Harry came from Lofa County.
A huge voting block.
Yes, it's a huge voting block. And I, as a president, I would have been convinced. Two, Harry Monoba was one of the well elite educated guy in Liberia. Okay. And so, because of some of the little reasons, Doe decided to bring in Harry Monoba, you see. But for the scenario that is unfolding in Liberia now, the women bloc is very, very significant to Ernest Bearer right now. And the young people bloc, according to the provisional census report, you have about 37% young people in our country. Okay. So it's like, Mr. Moderator, you have to take all these pieces into consideration before you make a decision who should be your running mate. You can't get a running mate that is not marketable. You cannot get a running mate who has no constituency. You cannot get a running mate that by accident you no longer on the scene and they cannot represent us and lead the 5 million plus people. So there are a whole lot of things into this running mate thing. It's not an easy thing. So I'm very sure even the opposition bloc, to be frank with you, they are having a difficult time. They are having quite a difficult time to really finally settle down
Who
on the
created?
running mate.
If it is the case, they are having a difficult time. Who created this scenario?
Oh well, that's another good question.
Why should they be having a difficult time?
Oh, I think one of the thing could be trust factor. You see,
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Chief. I can know.
Good. Are you?
Yeah, this is
Are,
Big FM.
huh?
Big FM, Big FM. You try to call on Orange.
Oh, okay. Good. We are on air now. You calling to participate, and I wanted to reach out to you guys here too, but on air now. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm out of credit right now. So,
Oh, okay. So, okay. This number is here on WhatsApp.
yeah.
Okay. I think I have. All right. I will call you guys. Okay.
Okay, no problem, Chief.
Yeah. I'll call you guys. All right. Okay. This is a system networking Liberia. I'm thinking this one Liberia number. I tried it other day. I don't know whether it will work here. But yeah, go ahead. Let me bring in.
okay.
So I mean,
Okay.
who created this problem?
Yeah, we'll come to where the fault lies.
Okay. Hello.
Let's look at the other issue.
How you doing, Mr. Soul?
Yeah, Elvis. I'm not sure why. Which browser are you using?
No. I wanted to come on, but I didn't want to come on camera. I just give my afternoon nap, so I just wanted to contribute. But maybe I can do other points there.
Oh, okay. No, okay, that's fine. So you are liberty. All right. So let's hear from our guy. Okay, let's hear from you, Elvis. What is going on? What is the holdup? Who is prepared and who is not prepared at this point in time?
Mr. Soul, I must say I agree with Josh before he left. The broadcast. I think there's some back deal wrangling right now for Cummings and Boyka. I think Cummings has realized that he just doesn't have the numbers doesn't have the momentum that it takes. Few months up to election, he's trying to see the red. He's starting to see the writing on the wall that it may not be his year. So perhaps those power who may be are trying to work together to bring these two people together. And I think most people understand, even both of them now are starting to understand they're the two most formidable candidates. Boyka as, head of tickets, coming as, vice president. And Cummings once said that his favorite president in Liberia was William R. Tolbert in several interviews. And I think he has to learn a little bit from Tolbert because that guy was vice president for I think 19 years
Right.
before he became president. So if he's going to go down that path, it's not the worst way to become president. So I think maybe he should reconsider it. So there could be some backdoor negotiation, which I think would be good. I think I want to see those two guys together, and we are and his people, and let's see who come out the best. And I think if things flip, even though I'm a CDC sympathizer, I will actually switch my support to the boycott Cummings candidate ticket because I think Cummings with all his experience, the old man with his wealth of knowledge in government, we I still don't think they can transform that country overnight, but I think the leadership of the country will be in better, more competent hands.
So
Well,
wait a minute,
that's
Elvis.
go ahead, Mr. So.
Yeah, you're talking something very interesting here. I want you to go over that so our audience can get that crystal clear. You're a supporter of the CDC, correct? Is that what you said?
I'm a sympathizer.
Oh, you say a
I'm not a
sympathizer.
diehard CDC. I wanna Joe Weir, I'm a pass. So anything he say, I wanna support him. But when I see people ganging up against him, excuse me, on different platform where it's 4-1 or 4-0, and everybody is going against him, I kind of want to point out, and give him a little bit of support. But I do believe that his government is corrupt. I do believe that George Weah himself isn't necessarily presidential material, but he could have grown into the role if he appointed more competent people around him that can get the job done. But obviously, he hasn't done that. But it's not all doom and gloom for him. I think he's doing some positive things, and I think sometimes when I'm on different platform, I like to see a balanced conversation. When you're talking about, criticizing the president, well, that's fine, but you also got to see some of his positive. I like a well balanced, a panel. So anytime people are ganging up against the president of the government, I go on there and I try to balance out the conversation. But I'm definitely a
I got a
patriotic
question for him.
Nigerian. I want to see our country in better, more competent hands. And I think Boyka by himself, with the people that are surrounding him, people like Ure, that's my biggest fear. That's why you see I turn away from Boyka because I think Ure would be the puppet master. I personally believe, again, this is not from LPR, this is my own speculation. I believe that personally, Ure has given Boyka loans, financial support. And I think, you know what, this is nothing for nothing in Liberia.
In return for something, probably you think?
Right. And that's what I'm saying. There's nothing for nothing. So leaving that guy to be the chief advisor to Boyka or the financial, what kind of advisor he will play to Boyka, I think he will have too much power and will go back almost to the days of Charles Taylor. So I think Cummings coming in there with his integrity, at least as we see it to be, and somebody who is a strong will, he won't let Europe run riot in the Boyka administration. So I think Cummings being the VP will put me more at ease that this next unity party, government coming into place will not be, more the same, from the old guys who were looting the country during Salif time. So that's just my take. It may happen. I wish it happens, but if it doesn't happen, it's an uphill battle for both of them. That's how.
David, I have a question for you.
Mhm.
What is the political guarantee that the Wakite and Kumintike could really unseat His Excellency the incumbent? Evis, are you there?
Formidable, a ticket for those
Hello?
who are quote unquote in the intelligentsia, those who are the educated class, those who are the business people and maybe well studied abroad and maybe back home, will look at Cummings as the guy who is best suited, at least for the foreseeable future, to run that country. And those who are JMB supporters, who he has the bona fide, meaning that he's a bona fide politician. He's been there for so long. He comes from the quote unquote native people. Let's not forget that aspect of it from Norfolk County. So he already has the masses, being from a political juggernaut, being the Unity Party. He has the masses. But Cummings, who the intelligent class or the intelligentsia wants, but obviously they don't have the numbers behind them. It's only a small percentage of people who are part of that class. They really, really want Cummings. But the vast majority of people who may be outside of that class want either Weir or Boyka. So I think getting the intelligentsia behind him, as well as the popular base that Unity Party has, is a formidable front to put against President Weir. So those two guys coming together, maybe you're looking at maybe 52, 48, kind of a tight race like that. It could go either way. That's when Cummings with his resource will come into play, his strategy, his bringing together a strong team along with the puppet, the old man talking to the people in the country. They can make a real good, push for this thing. But I think separate, Where is going to pick them apart, and that will be only their fault if they don't come together. Forget your differences, forget your beliefs in who should come first, who should come second. Let the old man go first. Cummings, you take the ring after him, God's willing,
So,
and give Weir a fight. Go ahead, Mr. Soul.
so Elvis, yeah, and you can stay there. I know you hear the guys. You can chime in as well. Do you think ANC or the Comey himself is he coming to the realization that something is not right, and there is need that he takes this political risk to find some political accommodation with the Unity Party? Are they to realize the only way, and this is why I found kind of very interesting. If you talk to all of the folks from the different opposition party, there's one thing that they have in common. They do not want to see this president to be re-elected. And if you talk to their supporters, that's another thing. But they are unwilling to have a conversation as to how this president cannot be re-elected, to make and swallow some of those bitter political pills. They are not willing to do that. Their supporters are not supporters, surrogates on talk show, commentators. They are not also helping the problems. They all throwing this red meat, demonizing each one another, presidential hopeful. That is not helping the process. The individual themselves, they are unable to contain, to kind of, neutralize the conversation, to create a room of conversation. Are they realizing that now? If they fail to come together, their chances
Mr.
to see this government will be very difficult.
Mr. Soul, let me just say this. One of the biggest miscalculations that Cummings made, and I don't know if my George is on the show. I'm not watching the live. I'm just on the phone.
Yeah, he's listening.
Okay, but I think one of the biggest miscalculations they made was this whole Liberty Party thing, because any rational person would think Liberty Party combined with the ANC would be almost in numbers and in terms of support will match that of the Unity Party. So that's perhaps what he was betting on, that if he can get Unity Party or Liberty Party, he really doesn't need Unity Party. He would be formidable. Maybe he can pick up, a few hundred, a few thousand people from the CDC to really compete. Maybe make it a three-way horse race. But that never materialized. The United Party is still largely with JMB. I think we all agree upon that.
Okay,
The
hold on
young
there. Let
people
me just stay on the line and
Okay, I'll
bring
leave it
in
there.
Mr. Moderator.
the liberal progressive. Good evening, welcome.
Okay.
Let me tell you right now, today is my day. I will try as much as possible to be nice and hold myself. I got to hold myself. I don't want to go that other way. Tomorrow is your birthday, right? So please, this week here, let's declare some sort of mutual understanding. Don't get at me, I will not get at you. Deal or no deal?
No deal.
I have a question for Elvis, please, because we don't want to go get in between the rivalry right now. My question for Elvis here is this: you realize that coming from day one, he has got his own political philosophy how to reshape Liberia. He's very ambitious to become president. And Johnny Walker now, at this point in time, to surrender as a vice president. Do you think he's going to be an obedient vice president
Okay,
with his
let's not
ambition?
Okay, let all of us chime through that. Everyone should give his part, and let me just add a little layer onto that question.
Yes.
Pat George, he is a ANC diehard man.
Mhm.
Yes, so we're going to get his personal take and all of that. Another part that I want to add on here is he a hook behind his drum beat. You can do the same thing over and over. Okay, saying it and doing it, that's a two different thing here. Do you think that his syndrome that he has created is it causing a problem for him? Because you're talking about doing the same thing over and over, and then you going back to Joseph Boyka is from the Unity Party Bell. We heard what they said, they squandered, they all sort of thing. We yet to get an explanation. We yet to even get an in-depth what happens in the executive mansion. Literally, the Capitol building, executive mansion, Boyka and Helen's relationship. We yet to establish that. We yet to know what Ambassador Boyka did not agree with some of the policy of Helen Johnson Sirleaf. We don't know.
Mr. Soe, the liberal is here. And I think this in the window CDC talking point not gonna fly here tonight. You're not gonna come out here and try to put lemon juice into this wonderful thing that people are talking about, Mr. So keep your conservative conservative idea to your place. And we happy birthday, by the way, happy birthday. But that doesn't mean because it's your birthday, Mr. So the liberal is wishing you happy birthday, and it's not because it is your happy birthday, it's your birthday. Therefore, you should come in and throw these CDC red meat all over the place here tonight that you think we're going to swallow and accept. Now, having said that, Mr. So, I think it's about time for you and Mr. Edmund George, another conservative, central right. And then now you guys couple with the Rhode Island, Edmund Sawyer, a groupie. I'm not too sure where to place him here, but I will do my best. I'm here tonight as a counterweight between all three of you. I think it's about time you and Mr. Central Right recognize my political priors here. I am a political genius, Mr. Soe, and I think the Liberian people have recognized that, and they're coming my way from day one. A year and a half or so ago, this is a song that I've been singing. And you guys, you and the central right were on this platform condemning me and trying to ridicule me and perhaps thinking that I'm not even a political genius, which I am. Mr. Soe, this is what I'm going to tell you. If Liberians, and many Liberians been crying over this thing here. I'll give you an example. 2020 election, senatorial election. Liberians, including many sedition, pinned their hopes and aspiration on these political leaders calling themselves CPP or whatever name they have. People believe in them. And then they allow a certain group within them.
Who they?
Destroy that the CPP, the leadership, allowed certain.
Who are they?
The Ambassador Bakar, who are paying of the whole blame on. Let me put it this way, and allow for people to penetrate them and try to destroy this thing. Second thing, I think Ambassador Bakar, who am I supporting? I truly admire him, and I wish and I hope that he will be the next president. But here's the fault with him that I have on the CPP debacle. Ambassador Bakar should have known very well when Comey came into this position. Comey trusted these people. Comey didn't come in trying to question their political motives and what have you. Comey trusted them and said, I want to work with you guys. If Comey had been someone who been in Liberian politics for a while, Comey would not have trusted these people because they are not to be trusted when it comes to the kind of political gathering or political marriage and what have you. Every one of them were coming into this position, knowing
including Ambassador Boyka.
And when Comey came in, Comey trusted them, and they blew it. Now, having said all of that, Mr. Soe, if this thing is to be true, and if this thing will happen, Comey have to put that presidential ambition on his foot for now, and come underneath President Wakai. And then you show, I've been saying this over and over, Comey in all of them, all 3 or 4 of them, Comey is the best person to lead Liberia right now. However, Comey do not have that engagement with the Liberian people. They do not understand that he has the good leadership ability. However, you go underneath Ambassador Bakai, and then you show your leadership to the Liberian people. Let the people see what I have been seeing, that you are a true leader. And then the next time, people themselves will tell Ambassador Bakai, you're not going to go second term. And then you come and become president very easily. And what part of it these people don't understand? And then when you, Mr. Soe, ask him that question, the excuse he gave us, which I thought was very weak from Cummings, that is, he said, you don't go into the kind of thing telling the people, I only running campaign because I want to be vice president. Far from it. Far from it. You keep trusting these people, they mess you up. Fine. Put that aside. Put your personal feeling aside. Put your political presidential ambition aside right now. And do this thing for the Liberian people. We're tired. We're tired. We've been begging these people. They've refused. They want to come and you go your separate way. Ambassador Baka go your separate way. Ambassador President, we have become, it will be re-elected easily, Mr. Soe.
Now, you started walking by land from Totan to Morovia, and then you got to California. Nobody interrupted you. You came here, before you even saying happy birthday, you started attacking me, attacking Amos Joy. Mr. Joy, Pa George.
Yeah.
Do you understand anything this guy, what he was saying?
I don't know, but because he all over this place here. But Mr. Soe, let me say this, and Mr. Toe. The moment you decide to go in any competition of anything you want, you don't put yourself to come second. You put yourself to be the first. Second season can prevail, that may change your view. So for someone to say, Cummings wanted to be president, he said that yes, that's what he said. That he wants to be president. He ran for president. So the Liberian people are the one to make that judgment. But for someone to say personally he doesn't know, he has the right. But they left with the voter to make that determination. I have said it over on this platform. I said Boaka and Cummings, or anybody for that matter, Liberia come first. So if you or you want to deliver Liberia, then people got to put the ambition aside and look at the country that have been my stand always, and I still stand by it. Because at the end of the day, it's Liberia, not you. Because we all go, Liberia will still remain. But there are things that go on that the people think that the two of you can do a work together. And the question here is, because we have never heard from Boakai to say, oh, I called Cummings to talk to him. I extended this thing that, look, we can work together. I never heard that from him. Maybe he did it behind closed door. I don't know. But he's the most senior. If he think that he need Cummings, or Cummings has an ambition, why he can't call him as brother or son and say, look, I can guarantee I want one term. Maybe I will serve or finish, I don't know. But I want us to work together. And maybe they'll come and say no. Maybe I haven't, I don't know. But I don't want people to say why he wants to be president or his ambition. No, everybody go for something. So, but the issue here is what is bigger than individual is Liberia. That is the people of Liberia. And I said, I don't know, you're on you're monitoring your show. 4 political parties again, they say youth, CPP youth group, comprising of LAP, Unity Party, Liberty Party, and ANC. They had a meeting this last week at the Better Casa Hotel, asking that Barker and Cummings must get together to work together. So the question that I started the conversation, I say, what is fueling this? Who is the sponsor of this meeting? Then I say, based on that, I strongly believe that means there's some conversation taking place at the backdoor level between Cummings and Barker. Because what prompted the four political party youth to go to Better Casa Hotel to come up with a pronouncement? And I believe there's something is going on. And I think if we all love Liberia, those who are in the political echelon of Liberia, who wants to be president,
Let me put it in my
have to look at Liberia as the bigger picture, not individual themselves. Because I always say at the end of the day, enjoy we are go back. Coming will not suffer, Baga will not suffer, but the Liberian people will continue to go through some tough time. And what will we say to those people? So we have to look at it from that perspective. The young matter of ANC don't have the numbers. Well, people have continued. These are narrative people have driven down. So I don't want to dwell on that. What I want to see is people coming to find solution to benefit the Liberian people. If Boakai and Cummings can get together and say something positive in the direction, fine, the Liberian people are crying. They continue to say it. The point is, I don't know what the people got ears to hear.
Are they listening to the cry of the Liberian people?
That's what I'm saying. Because you call on people call on station, they say the same thing. All right, Balkans and Cummings. And we saw what happened. The 2020 senatorial representative senatorial election. CDC were already done. They were worried. And they said admitted with Cummings and Boakai. They were worried. But when Samson told son and his uncle in President Henry Costa, they started with a finger documenting, which was like a plot to tear the CCC apart, which it did. Then, of course, that breathed life into CDC to divide the institution. And his son went a cherry cussing everybody, those he disagree with.
Okay. Let's keep it brief as possible. Let me put a number out here. The number is here for those who also want to participate here, because we're sick and tired with these people. Nobody knows the conversation they are having, yet they say they want to beat President Weah. Up to this point in time, no one can come out to say this is our vice president. It's ridiculous. I don't know how they just taking, and this is just unfair. It's not giving us chance, and it's at their own risk. What happened? There's a dirt comes out of anybody that you pick. What time do you have? They're doing it like in the last time around. I think they should have adopted CDC, the NPP, and Ellis Tyler, Prince Johnson staff, and to have just gotten into a backing and do it like a sort of a proportionate government. Hey, this is my strength, this is your strength. We gave you this, we take this, you take that. They didn't do it. Let me go to Mali, and then I'll come back to Evans here. Jones, are these people having conversation? Can they convince some of their supporters, high extreme voices supporters that they have to come to a deal?
Well, there is this popular impression in Liberia that when Kumi and Boakai merge, they can unseat George Weah. I'm still not convinced about that guarantee yet. But here is the issue. Yes, here is the issue. When the whole thing started with the CPP, I think the Liberal were going that direction, but later on he deviated. When the whole thing started, when Kumi came to Liberia, if that merger had come in, it would have been a sincere merger. and tell me up to this time, things would have worked very fine. But at this point now in time, I will see it as marriage of inconvenience. And marriage of inconvenience can bring a whole lot of tension. Kumi and Boakai will rather not make it policy-wide, to be frank with you. Maybe they want to come together thinking they will unseat George Weah. That possibility is there. But it is highly likely. It is highly likely because there are so many advantages on the side of the incumbent than the rest of the political party. In the first place, Joseph Boakai, he been in power for 40 years. His image is ingrained in Liberian. Liberian rather know him. You know, our politics in Liberia is that when I know you, it get ingrained in us. That one credit I gave him. There are nobody everywhere in Liberia, people can talk about Joseph Boakai. All right. But the question now is, Kumi is a very good president in the making. But he said from day one, he cannot be a vice president. And he was saying the truth. Coming at this time, the kind of marriage, trust me, there are going to be more consequences, even if they win, than we ever thought of. There's a reason why I don't want to support this marriage right now. Yes.
Okay.
It's
Aries.
a so if I can come in.
It's not sincere. It will not be sincere marriage.
So
Mr.
it's all over now. Anything they're doing now is just on the surface. No sincerity, no commitment, no
Yes.
trust. So Aries.
Yes, Mr. So thank you. And I want to respond to Mr. Mallet.
Hold on, let me just put this caller there. Yeah, go ahead, Aries, and then I'll bring in the other caller.
Here.
Yeah, hold
You
on
know,
one second, caller. Then from there, after Aries, I'll bring you another number from 612. Yeah, hold on 1 second. Yeah, go ahead,
All
Aries.
right. Yes, I think he asked a question earlier before, I had a chance to answer. There's an old saying, if you can't get through in the front door, where else you go? You go through the back. You go to the back door. So if he can't come in to the position right away as president, he can sneak his way through the back by being the vice president. And I think maybe we're misconstruing what Cummings was actually saying. He wasn't saying that he can't be vice president. It's like somebody saying, I can't be second. Well, if you lose first, you take second. If you're the runner up, you're the second. So if you can't be president, if you see that the way isn't clear, the pathway isn't clear, you can always be a vice president if the opportunity presents itself, because that's a pathway to become president. So I think, Mr. Jones, the situation here right now is that Mr. Cummings has realized, even though Mr. George doesn't want to admit it, that the path isn't clear for him to become president right at this moment. And I think we on the outside can see it, that the pathway is very narrow for him. JMB has a wider pathway, though it's not guaranteed, but combining with him or collaborating with him gives you a better chance of some way, somehow, ingratiating yourself with the Liberian people, like Mr. Mala said, ingraining yourself in their mind that you're a capable political leader, you're a capable manager. Look what you did as vice president. If JMB administration does well, you guys can ride on that, into the future for 2029. So there's a lot of upsides. The one thing I think that's holding Cummings back is this whole executive council. You got the firebrand like Mariah Yakula and a few other people who think that in some way they're equal to Cummings, and he can't make any decision without the quote unquote executive council. So if he even tries to go and negotiate on his own behalf, they're going to try to hold his feet to the fire by telling him, "Yo, this is not the CDC. You're not a dictator. We all make decisions in concert. We got to have some kind of what is quorum. We got to have quorum and this and that." So he's not active. He's not playing the role of a Brumskin who could say this and the whole party move with him. They're trying to go into this new democratic system where now so say one say so say, oh, they're positive, but there are some drawbacks, and we're seeing it right now where he can't go and negotiate with JMB one-on-one like two political leaders and try to come to an understanding. The executive council got to go along with him. I'll leave it there.
All right, let me go to the next caller here. This seems to me like even though Cummings, he's a political leader, but he does not have probably leverage or some control over the institution. Let's go to the caller here. Caller, good evening, 612.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. So happy birthday as well.
Thank you so much. Welcome.
Yeah, my take on this whole thing, I think one of the things already holding coming back, most people are not noticing. I think the former president of Liberia, Ellen Johnson, said he has a pull on Mr. Cummings because, in my mind, she don't want Joseph Boga to win the election, knowing very well that if these two people merge, there is a possible win. But like one of your panelists said, Cummings is a guy who his charisma, he quick to move, to take decisions, he quick to talk. Like even Honor Yomley, he was always talking. You know, he will leave the people and go and talk. So will Cummings be able to submit himself as a VP to Joseph Jema Boyka for 6 years? In my mind, I doubt it. Because like what one of the callers said, he have his own vision. He have his own political ambition. So there's a possibility that if they do emerge, they might likely win. But going forward, will they be able to work together with the likes of the Yakula, the likes of all those, his entourage? Will they be able to coexist in that agreement and foster the country for a better future? Or will it be a battle again that we have to be discussing on social media all over the place? So in my mind, I think the strategy of the both of them not picking a running mate right now is very, very wise because apparently they're looking at options that they might likely emerge. But I think the glitch there is Ellen. Ellen is the glitch coming from emerging. That could be my own wisdom that I think I can put forth because Ellen is a guru in the political arena, and I doubt that she will want to see coming merging with Joseph Jema Boyka. But if that ticket hold, there must be a win. But I see crisis further. Yeah.
Oh wow, what a convoluted one here. Molly Jones.
Yeah.
What are we in? Any idea what we're gonna get out of this?
You see, let retrogress a little bit. The Pape, His Excellency, former VP Boakai, he was on one of the top show, Spoon Talk Show. I have that recording. They asked VP a question. Why do you want to become president? Frankly speaking, he laid down some excellent point that I already agree with. Aside of that, Pape made a statement. Pape said, they asked him, will you want to stay in power forever? You know what he said? He said, one term is enough for me. That recording is there. He said, one term is enough for me to put Liberia on a good footing. Then they asked him, so will you retire then? He said, yes. That means the VP is going to come in. But here is the issue. You see, the last quarter that just spoke, he said something salient that we need to pay attention to. If Madam Helen Johnson Sirleaf was very sincere with Omer Boakai, to be frank with you, standing with him shoulder to shoulder, just how Barack Obama stood with Biden shoulder to shoulder in this country, trust me, something strange was going to happen. Something strange was rather going to happen. Because the old man, she ingrained in the Liberian people, they know her. And is she standing with Joseph Boakai? That's a credibility issue right there, 100%. Look, Pape will go through, to be frank with you. But it seems to be, she made a statement on one of the talk show and said, I don't know one of the talk show, but anyway, I read it in one of the newspaper. He said, I'm not prepared to campaign for anybody. That was a strong statement. Very strong statement.
Okay.
So my question now here is, I said from the beginning, the Kumi and the Boakai ticket, it was going to be a very beautiful ticket from the beginning. I'm telling you. But at this time, the only meeting now to get George we are out and probably stay in problem. This is what I really don't want. And to be frank with you, if the Papa go alone, Kumi go alone, George Weah will be re-elected. There's no two way about that. But what is the guarantee that even when Kumi join Boakai now, they will even unseat George Weah?
Okay.
But what I see here, what I see, Mr. Moderator, if Kumi and Boakai join right now, they will create what I call a political scenario for a second round, but not to beat George Weah. And if they go for second round, George Weah already have 6 political parties under his belt, plus the 2 that were him. And they go for second round, the whole election will end up in the Supreme Court. And George Weah get 3 of those guys hanging in that Supreme Court that will make him president. Yes.
What sort of? Okay, let me bring in the liberal. The liberal.
Yeah, Mr. So,
before you make your point,
Right.
do we need to ask Ambassador Boyka, is there anything that he has not explained that he needs to explain with the Liberian people relative to their administration? And I'm making reference directly to Helen Johnson Sirleaf. What are some of the possible reasons, since they can't tell her that you could speculate, or you're very good at that? The woman is not willing. Is there any fear of some political reprisal on the part of Ambassador Boyka when he's become president? Now, it's not in public. But in the past, long time, there was a conversation. It was reported that were held of Ambassador Boyka frowned strongly that his own unity party, if elected, including then the outgoing president, there could have been people who have been held responsible. I don't know how true is that. Helen Johnson Sirleaf, knowing who she is, she's grounded in politics. She's not going to say that. That is a rare line in itself. Wait a minute. So this guy wants to put me or throw my children in jail for whatever reason. But it's becoming a headache for us. We don't know what she represents, and she get a very strong faction wing of the Unity Party that is embedded within the very Unity Party of Ambassador Joseph Boyka Boyka. Her group get the resources. Her group of the Unity Party wing get the resources to execute effective election. Is she playing a double standard here, Helen Johnson Sirleaf?
well, Mr. So, I'm not too sure exactly what her position is because she has not stated that publicly either. But what I do know and what I do suspect is that Ambassador Boyka, I think, I truly believe that his intention is to go far back as possible to audit any government officials who perhaps might have been involved into any corrupt behavior.
Is that a cloud on Helen Johnson Sirleaf, you think?
Well, I'm not going to say that because I don't know exactly what her position or what she has been involved into corruption and what have you. I mean, nothing has been proven. All thing as it is, it's all speculation. So I'm not going to pronounce that here this evening. But what I do believe is that as a result, I think Madam Sirleaf, knowing fully well She can be called on carpet just simply not because of taking money and what have you, but being called on carpet simply for nepotism, and she can be found guilty because of that. It's in the code of conduct, and the code of conduct is part of the law in Liberia. And she herself told it that code of conduct in Liberian political arena. So she can be called on many things. Now, the issue that I have is this. If Kumi himself, who has also been in public announcing that the first thing they're going to do if anybody was found guilty, their property will be confiscated and then be thrown in jail. So if you believe in those kinds of things, and Ambassador Waka, it's not on record, but that's the stuff in the believe among his supporters and what have you. If those things are true, you then try to see if you can merge one thing. And I think the political parties themselves, the Liberty Party, Unity Party, and the ANC, the supporters, at this point, if this thing does not come to fruition, I think those are the people that I will blame. And especially the
people you just blame Ambassador Boyka, you come into support
anybody who will not seek the interests of Liberia, I blame you. What are you, Mr. Soe, with your birthday certificate and what have you? If you don't seek the interests of Liberia, I blame you on your birthday as well. So please let me make my point, if you don't mind. I can blame as many people as I want, as long as they do not seek the interests of Liberia in my mind. So that's settled that. Now, Mr. Soe, here is what I'm going to say.
Make power with me here to do. This is unbelievable.
They are jealous. Let me just tell you right now. There's so many people telling you happy birthday, happy birthday. There plenty. That's not something small I can take and say, okay, that's no.
What are you gonna do with the Liberian people conversation?
Well, I'm just telling you why I'm not going to go easy on you. There's too many people telling you happy birthday when we're supposed to be talking Liberian issue. People, oh, Mr. Soe, happy birthday. What's about me? Whether my birthday or not, say happy birthday, Mr. Soe. Mr. Soe, please. I'm already upset with a group that's wishing you happy birthday so many times. One happy birthday, finish. That's it. How many times y'all say happy birthday? They step in my toilet. But Mr. Soe, that's why I'm upset with you right now. But anyway, let me just finish my statement, please. Here is the thing here. If Cummings, who I strongly believe, and I did ask him that question when I had the opportunity, as to whether he came into this thing with not trusting. And this is what he told us. That look, I'm not going to go and fight over spilled milk. But next time, he said, I'm a kind of person, I come in trusting you. But if you abuse my trust, then to earn it, to re-earn that trust become an issue. And I think this is where we are. And I don't see coming now just willingly coming into, people try to disgrace him. People try to dislodge him from his position. And this was unacceptable. And I said that here over and over. And for Honorable Buckeye to come here in Philadelphia Hall and say that I'm going home and all of these going to be taken care of, I will make sure they stop. And when he got home, nothing else happened. And this is a person that I, Samson, told. I'm trusting Cummings' political career, Cummings' character to this person again, all because of Liberia. And it's very difficult for me to say that, because I if it wasn't for Liberia, I would tell Cummings, don't even come close 100 feet, whatever it is, close to these people, because they don't mean good work for anybody's character except for themselves. But we're talking about Liberia. If President Weah is re-elected, the people, not President Weah necessarily, but the people around him, you think they're stealing now? Sure. Wait till they get re-elected. Knowing full well they're not going to go for the third time. They will do everything possible. So my point is, I feel bad for Cummings, but all Liberians, any corner you go to in Liberia, when you talk about people,
what you feel bad for him for?
Yes, I feel bad for him because the way he was treated. Because the way he was treated, as a human being, it was not fair, and it's not something you're supposed to do. Now,
by whom?
By Costa, by Ben Layure, by Honorable Baka himself. I say so. Let me finish my topic, my point. Mr. Soe, I ask Honorable Comey, sincerely asking to see reason to put Liberia first, because the entire population, most of the people in Liberia, that's the ticket they're waiting for. If Kumi and Baka was to hold hand today and say we're together, and Kumi's going first, Kumi going second, Baka going second, well, first, George Weah will come up publicly and apologize and say, I don't even want to seek re-election. If these people were to come together, George Weah and CDC would know that they're finished. Nothing will stop it. They're playing around. George Weah and his people continue to say they're running campaign for what is it, million man march, whatever, because they know the opposition are not together. But if these people are to come together, they will be successful. Now, somebody made a comment earlier about Comey's executive committee. Their executive committee, they get fast and all of them broke, just like me. Comey has the money. And Comey said, look, this is about Liberia. If you don't come, you go your way. They don't have fast and they depend on Comey to make living. They can't do it by themselves. George, we are not going to give them job. Where are they going to go to get job?
Hold on there. You've been crying, you've been preaching here, boycott, stabilizer. You came back to say you are unstable, which also resembles the behavior of boycott saying.
And this from this kinds of comment about me, and you want me to say happy birthday to you? Go ahead, make your point. Go ahead, and then after making this kind of comment about the liberal, and then you expect the liberal to come back and sing happy birthday to you? Go ahead, I'm listening.
This guy is determined to be like, I don't know who on this network now. What's going on? Okay. With all of these things that happened, we're seeing it, they went to court, it came out more or less. Boyka, he wants to be. Mali, he said he wants to be one term. Is he honestly working towards the presidency? If I want something, I have to create that avenue. I have to create that corridor. I have to do everything and be willing to take the political risk involved as well. Do you think you as a supporter, or are they having this sort of conversations that he needs to take the bull by the horn? Because he has a lot of questions to answer. He was part of the Unity Party. And I'm still pushing this. And I hope you guys who support him, he will give us the opportunity to have this question. What really happens during the the executive mansion of Helen Johnson Sirleaf and that of Unity? Of Helen Johnson? What is the difference now with Ambassador Boyka, Unity Party?
Let me just throw it to you right by. Ambassador Boyka was parked in the garage. Simple as that. That's the first thing I was going to tell you. Now, if I want to take this to the next level, and that's what I do. I'm very sincere. And whether it's going to hurt me politically or not, I will be truthful. Ambassador Boyka has not done well for himself. If what is happening in Liberia and his behavior in Liberia, if he had been in the United States, he won't even be second or third in line or anything. Because remember, he told us when shit was rocking in terms of CPP, he told people publicly that he said he made a parable to say if you put a nail on a tree and you nailed it, the nail go and hurt other people. So basically, what he was saying at the time, that whatever it is that Costa was doing, it was not just hurting Cummings, but it was hurting Cummings and people around him. And it was not decent, he said. This is not our culture. And so when I get back, and I'm just paraphrasing now, the meeting at City Hall, the place in Philadelphia that night. So when I get back home, I'm just paraphrasing, that I will make sure these things come to an end. He went home, he never did. Ambassador Boyka, he's not somebody of someone that is not experienced. He's the most experienced person in this race. But you cannot, I don't believe that you can come to this position and thinking, say, you're just going to run over President Weah. It's not going to happen. President Weah, let me say this again. President Weah does not have leadership ability. If the Liberian people were voting strictly based on leadership ability, they won't even call President Weah name. But President Weah is popular, and his popularity is not going down. Look what happened to Lone Star the other day. You would think the Liberian people would take it on the president to say you are a soccer legend and you let these kinds of things happening on your watch. They're not doing that. They're giving him an excuse. He came back and said when he was playing on a soccer pitch, Liberian people love him, and they do love him. So you cannot come to this and think that this president is weak. The only problem this president has is his people are not utilizing that popularity into his advantage. Now,
let me go.
The Kumis and the Baka need to take advantage of that. Come together, put Liberia first, and forget about whatever else is happening. Put Liberia and the Liberian people first. Everything else, we will work through that.
Socio-political correctness statement tone here. You've been very dishonest. Amos George.
Yeah. Look, you see, this line you put in, Ambassador Walker can answer this question that you're asking. I don't know he advised us. Nobody can tell me that everything that went on Ellen Johnson said was wrong. There was some good thing they did. Every government doesn't have 100%. There was some good thing. So, Oliver Bucket can tap into the good thing that they did. When they talk about what was Liberian budget, there was no infrastructure in Liberia. No infrastructure. No institution. No institution was in Liberia when they took over. They left the budget at 600 million from zero.
Mr. Judge, I'm sorry to do this, but can you just hear for 1 second, please? Let me remind you on something. What your statement is quite correct.
Can you hold on 1 second,
Mr. Soe, the man?
George is not in. Hold on. You not want to. I kind of said dominate. Let the man make his point.
I understand that, but I ask him politely. I ask him as a conversation.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's not in charge. He's not in charge. So
Mr. George, are you giving me the 1 second that I thank you, Mr. Soe? Happy birthday, Mr. George. Mr. George, let me just remind you. I understand the point correctly that Ambassador White can come and tie to that, but remember the debate. You cannot be packed in a garage and then come out and say, "Oh, we did all of this. I was there." You said if people packed in the garage, then you're gonna come back now and say, "I take credit of this." This is gonna be very much disingenuous. Go ahead.
That's not a point to make. Park in the garage. There's a description for that. He can answer that. But we have, if the Barker camp, I'm seeing, they can challenge anybody in Liberia to say that the 12 they didn't do anything good. Let somebody come and say that. Were they corruption? Yes. Were they nepotism? Yes. Was it favoritism? Yes. But you cannot say that the 12-year-old on Barker then they didn't do anything. Then that person is not honest.
So what did they do?
I come in. When they got into the country, what was the institution? Zero.
Which institution are you referring to?
Every institution in government. I say every one of them. You naming one functional institution that was in Liberia after the war.
You tell us. You seen that
you don't know, and you want to ask questions.
Yeah, but if I say I don't know, you tell me.
Okay, but I will tell you. What was the budget when they took over? They took that budget from $1 million to $600 million. Schools, the hospitals, they facilitated hospitals. She built hospitals, clinic around the country. Roads, I think 600% kilometer was paved in Liberia during that 12 years. She set up a viable institution, the LACC, the Public Procurement Institution. All you see was settled on Madam Ellie. So for someone in the ref to say that they didn't do anything, then of course that would not be fair. All I'm seeing here, Honorable Boakai can tap into some of the good things they did. Not every other administration was perfect, but if you try to, you can compare and contrast and see the difference. Today, civil servant, minimum I think they were paying $200 some dollars. Today, what I say? People making $75, $60. They can't take pay on time. You can make that case for them.
Let's make a
And
time.
look at the
We'll
government
soon be
today.
wrapping up.
The government today is completely being dominated by some Easterners.
Okay.
Completed. 95% compared to Ellen
Molly
Johnson.
Jones.
So I'm not, but I just wanted to be very honest to say that Boakai has some questions. Yeah, he has some questions to answer. But there are some good things that he can tie on.
So now
let me go to the
in 30 seconds. So we'll go to
I found about Molly Jones to be a very hard liner. I don't know if he on any negotiating team what they will ever give in. Okay. He's saying Cummings, because Cummings said he must be president. Yes. That's your ambition. If you say you want to be principal, you want to be principal. But if there are conditions that they say, look, yeah, we see you qualify everything. But right now, to get this, we have to compromise. You can do so if you want to. If you don't want to, that is up to you. Not because someone said they want to be president, so if they ask them to be VP, they will say no. What if that is a will?
So,
but it's not something that we should do, and that should be. It cannot happen. No, it could happen. And this idea about supporters and this and that, we all go in our fringes to support who we want. But I say always, at the end of the day, it's those political leaders that make that tough decision. Not everybody, your member, will agree with you on certain things. But if it is in the interest of the country, not the party, in the interest of the country, then of course you should take that decision. Will you get heat from your people? Yes. But at the end of the day, that is the biggest decision that you think will benefit the country. You take it and take the heat from your people. Whether it's Boakai or Cummings, you take that decision and say, this is where I stand.
Guys, we got to keep our answers, responses to the point so that we get it. Let me go to Molly Jones. I'm finding it very difficult, the interpretation, the defense line being put up. Amos George on the other side heavily defending Unity Party, even though he tries to be an honest guy. He claimed to be. You have the liberals, and on the other side say they were packed in the garage. He, Ambassador Boakai, it actually came from his side. That word, I think, is a big political word, and what Helen Johnson Sirleaf has been successful to do to declassify that word and break it down. And Ambassador Boakai is unable so far, and I hope one of these days I have the opportunity. I hope, Liberal, if you can really do that, because I've talked to George Lobo, all of those people, they just, they're not even conducted. And they all have this sort of behavior, wherever they find their way, they will go to have this yes or no question here, because he needs to tell us the good side of Helen Johnson Sirleaf and things that he differ within Helen Johnson Sirleaf administration. How many years now they've been out of power? Leadership, no memoir, nothing he's telling us. But yes, he's telling us that he was parked in his garage. He made over hundreds of state visits, proxy the affairs of the government, headed by Helen Johnson Sirleaf. But he said he was parked in the garage. So what is interesting, what we really want to know, what did he agree with and what was the disagreement with he and Helen Johnson Sirleaf? He needs to tell us that.
Yeah, but Mike Pence just said that Donald Trump, they should not arrest Donald Trump. Mike Pence, the one who wanted to kill him, but he taking side with
You
the man.
want to be for boy? I don't even know which group you rep. Are you for ANC or are you for Ambassador Boyka?
I know. I mean, I just being honest.
So who is
I
it,
just
Mike
being
Pence?
honest.
So who's it? Joseph Boyka is a Mike Pence here now?
And you seen like yeah, I said, but yeah, Mike Pence, Donald Trump, who wanted to kill him, and he's supporting Donald Trump today.
But what is it? What is the vital interest of LPR trying to find the information from Boyka
I'm
anyway?
not a person or support Joseph Boyka, but the mere fact here,
Yeah, the other
you
man.
cannot sit down and just say
I'm asking Malice a
everything was
question.
wrong under the Ellen Johnson city government or Joseph
Malice,
Boyka.
Yeah.
He has to do that.
you hear what the liberal is saying?
Well,
Why
I
asking the
see.
question?
Yeah, I see a lot of inconsistency tonight.
They're not honest. They're
to,
not honest.
to a lot of diehard people who are taking a very strange trend tonight. It's very shocking. But anyway, it's part of the platform analysis.
Wow.
But I strongly want to believe that Mr. Cummings, he's overzealous, he's over energetic, and he's overactive to be a quiet vice president to Joseph Boakai. We should not take this for fun. It's not going to happen. That one. Two, I've seen systemic complacency on the part of the Unity Party. Up to today, I stand to be corrected. I don't know when lies since January up to now, when last His Excellency former VP Joseph Boakai ever visited the 16 counties. I can't remember. Maybe someone can correct me. I said the 16 counties. I didn't say Nima County or Lofa County. I said the 16 county. Second, I don't know when last Joseph Boakai and Kumi ever visited the slums in Liberia. West Point, Sony Wen, Slipway. Well, Georgia is on record to go down the slums and even sit there. And this is the type of politics.
The language of the people.
This is the type of politics the people are looking for. Something that resonates with their deplorables. I have not seen it. I stand to be corrected. Okay.
Let's go to our guys.
With reference to your question, I strongly believe that both Kumi and Joseph Boakai are making the case for Georgia return to power. So, if Joseph Boakai would just forget about Kumi for now and branch to Nima County and probably bring in this Nima Bo Kun, who has a large constituent, because if you get Nima County, we can presume that you are heading somewhere. And the soft Eastern County already are sent to be corrected. I think they are under the incumbent belt right now, the soft Eastern County. Right? Bon County is also added there. So there are so many advantages here. We are seeing Kumi. Look, Liberal, I would be so happy from day one. 82 people were just moving together. I would have even joined our campaign. But at this time, that marriage, it will be shaky. And from Kumi, the kind of person I see him to be, he cannot be a good vice president to a quiet president like Joseph Boakai. No.
Wow. Another. He has pressing the water. Okay, gentlemen, let's come to our guys on the line for their closing argument. Look, Elvis.
Yes, Mr. Soe.
It has just become a daily and nightly headache for us. Why are they doing this to us?
Let me go to Mr. Jones, Mr. Mally Jones quickly here. Mr. Jones, I want to agree with some of your points, but I just want to say that, I have forgotten that you are a seditian on this platform. I think you just renew your membership tonight because you're speaking like a true
Oh boy.
sedition tonight. You know, you're a bit
Oh
dormant for
Lord.
some time. I think you're waking up now, so I just want to acknowledge that.
Eric is on a
But then,
fact check mission here to disclose people's identity.
but
Oh boy.
so Pat George, I want to agree with Pat George on one thing. You know, I think JMB divorced himself from the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government too quickly by making that park car statement that he made. And that's the thing. You sometimes you ride the coattails of your predecessors. You know, you ride the coattails to get you where you want to be. And he tried to divorce himself from Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. And I think that to her was a betrayal because if you're trying to say you're a park car, meaning nobody touched you, nobody used you for your intended purpose, you were just sitting there collecting dust and rust and never engaged. You know, you didn't put your pedal to the floor to go the places you're supposed to go, which is not true. Like I think Mr. Soe just said, he was traveling all to these different countries as a diplomat, engaging with his counterparts, you know, relaying messages from the president at the time. So he did serve his purpose. So to say he was a park guy is just not true, but it's also an unnecessary error that he did on his part. But also, Mr. George, I want to disagree with you in the same breath. This whole Southeastern thing, I don't like it. I'm a Southeasterner. My family is from Grand Gita. It's like it's a dog whistle. We've seen it before,
Dog whistle.
and it brings unnecessary scrutiny to our region because the reality is, you know who really runs that CDC government is the people from Lofa County. The people from Lofa County dominate the CDC government. So when you say the Southeastern, when you say Southeast, you got to look at some of the ministers, some of the people in strategic position in the CDC government. Most of them are from the Southeast. They are not from the Southeast. Most of them are from Lofa County, you know, Cape Mount, you know. So even when you look at the kitchen cabinet, a lot of them are not Southeastern people, you know. So let's leave that rhetoric. It has a propensity to create some kind of, you know, animosity amongst people, you know, against people from the Southeast and other regions of the country. I don't like it. You know, but Mr. Soe, you've been so gracious to keep me on the show tonight. I really appreciate it, even though, you know, I have to listen to everybody speak their mind, but usually I'm just in the background listening. I appreciate you bringing me on. Hopefully I can see and I share one or two things of interest to the show tonight. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you. We always want the voices to be heard here. Okay, let's go to 612. 3168. Are you there?
Yeah, Mr. Sir. Thank you very much.
All right.
So, yeah, so you asked a golden question that I see the panel is struggling to answer, which is what can Joseph, what happened for the 12 years between he and Ellen? And I think that
Something
is one
there
of the
no
failures
answer
of,
to that question. He would never answer it. The only thing he would tell me is none of my business. That's the only answer he had.
and I see the panel is struggling. But you see, one of the problems I have with JMB, even though I support him, is that he refused to go dirty when it comes to dealing with Ellen, but he can go dirty when it comes to dealing with Cummings and other guys. All right? That is the problem I have with him. Even in Nigeria, that same question was asked him by the journalist. He put it under the rug. We have to know. You have to give us, you have to begin to expose some things that happen that push you to want to be president. You got to tell us, what happened between you and Ellen? Why is this glitch between the two of y'all that she cannot support you? Which if she do, this coming election, it will be a serious battle for you. And number two, you ask the question, what difference? What is the difference between you and Ellen? Because when you tell us what happened, then we will know why, you need the office. The Liberian people will know why you need the office. But he's not saying anything. Anytime they ask him, he shy away from that particular question. He don't want to say anything. And I think it's a serious problem for him politically, And another problem I have with him, he's not motivational when it comes to the political landscape of Liberia. He don't motivate his colleagues, his parties, and he don't attack issues that very severe in the country that's going on, like the killings. He's not aggressive. He's not an aggressive politician. And you need that kind of charisma in this particular dispensation of Liberia. You cannot be silent. You cannot be quiet. The people have to see your vigor. They have to see your aggression. You have to put those things forward. You're not going to fight anybody, but you have to be aggressive. And I think those are some of the weaknesses of the old man. But I still believe that he is the right man for the job at this particular time to put the country back on course and set it. But you need to clarify some of these things these questions that you ask. These are two major questions that I call the two golden questions for JMV. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we are struggling trying to find. I feel bad for the ambassador. He tries to walk a fine line to remain in that position, but I think he got caught up in the saying and he needed to speak. And like what Evie said, that pack thing there, I'm not sure whether it was something that our politicians are calculative in getting certain statement out. But this one here, probably I would say it was a slip of tongue, but the media pushes, so he needed to provide an answer. I think he tries to protect Helen Johnson Sirleaf with other things, which normally, like what we see, like in the case of Mike Pence, there were some big political differences. But when it came to other things, Mike Pence, he stood his ground. I don't think knowing his ambition, I don't think he wanted to throw Helen Johnson Sirleaf, but we know Helen Johnson Sirleaf is very vindictive. She's not so forgiving. And I think that statement alone coming from the ambassador, Helen Johnson Sirleaf, kind of quantify and I declassify that statement to a lot to her that, oh, this guy here, because the thing is, then the question for Helen Johnson too, folks, not only Ambassador Boyka, when did she realize that maybe Ambassador Boyka is no longer trusted? You can't have somebody at what timeline? 12 years the person served you as a vice president? That is unusual. See what Barack Obama and Joe Biden, the years Biden served. When Biden wanted to go, Barack was all in there, went all out there to campaign for Joe Biden. But Helen, she's kind of like this sort of blow and bite attitude. Nobody's know her position. She just want to be like the alligator behind the scenes. Samson told you can look at me in any kind of way. I don't care. Your eyes do me no harm. So, I mean, we just got to say, the Helen needs to answer. She herself needs to answer a question. Because you can't have somebody who worked for you 12 years. At what point in time that you think this person no longer a vice presidential material? At what point in time? All right. Today is my day. I don't want to get my cholesterol. Samson Stowe is trying to push me here. Tomorrow, by the way, tomorrow is your birthday, right?
Yeah.
How old are you?
52.
No, you're not too sure.
That's somebody saying dishonest stating we're talking about. 50, 50, 52. What are you talking about 50, 50, 52? What are you afraid of?
You
think you're young?
I am. I'm still young.
Because you're putting dye in your hair, so you think
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm still young.
But,
just for me.
Yeah, but
well, all fairness, I disagree with the last caller. You see, the issue of, this is where I give credit to Joseph Boakai tonight with the Helen Johnson Sirleaf story. You see, when you live in government or organization, or even this platform that we're on tonight, everything that you have done there, you leave it to history. This is where maturity kick in. Joseph Boakai had been on a lot of platform. Now one day, he said negative thing about Helen Johnson Sirleaf. Now one day. The last platform he even visited Spoon. He make it clear. He said Helen Johnson Sirleaf sent for him one day and told him, "You're going to take from me as the next president of Liberia." He's on record. In practice, I didn't see that. Something went wrong. But he just tried to be mature, to play his cards in our line, and which, of course, I must stand with him on that. If Joseph Boakai will come here to start explaining today what he and Ellen Johnson said, he did this, that. The first thing we, the Liberian people, will say, oh,
Yes,
if this the man who coming to run Liberia, we hear kind of for immaturity, they think they dig behind closed door, he leaking everything up. We, the senior Liberian, will say it. So I stand with him today to keep, even if he doesn't become president, I respect him 100% tonight on that. So the caller saying what they did, they must bring it to pass. I just disagree with our caller. It don't work that way. Two, I strongly believe that so many things went wrong.
Like what?
Up to now, the first election, let's go back to the 2017 election. George Weah was a factor in the 2017 election. When they all went to Nigeria, according to reliable sources.
Your sources then where people can know about.
According to reliable sources, when the incumbent went to Nigeria, I learned the same for the old man. During her second term, and George Weah cried foul, and the people decided to wipe his tears in a room. I learned he was told, the old man was told, it will be this ball time. Please, we don't want confusion in this bush. We've talked to him. We don't want him to get his boys in the bush. So we beg you, it will be his time. I learned the old man agree. So that put Joseph Boakai, that discussion that he should be president, that put it, that issue it was on ice already. When they came back, we had decided to remain quiet that how he went in the Senate because there's an agreement. But there's another source that is unconfirmed that the Omar decided to tell Kumi to come and register his party. Kumi had not lived in Liberia for 10 years. That clause was violated. His party will register. He was 18 months. He went to the election. Okay? So there was the rumor all around that was the Omar Kennedy. But with the caveat from Nigeria, she couldn't circumvent anything. So it was like, this why when the incumbent won, it's like, oh, this is our time. So many things went on. Okay, let's forget about what went on. Now, if nothing went wrong, why the Omar don't want to stand shoulder to shoulder with a Pape at this time when he's more in, when he is most in need of her right now? That the victory that's sitting somewhere for the Pape, the Omar can just campaign with him around. The Omar already said it in one of the newspapers. I'm not going to campaign for anybody. So it simply means Omar Boakai, he's done.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Time has caught up with us. Let's do our closing statement for remarks for the night. What do we predict to coming ahead new week? Well, we have another drama saying here, as usual, from Liberia. Every day, some sort of a Pandora box opened. I want to discuss the vice presidential candidate, who these people are, and what would be their assigned responsibilities. And part of that is to avoid having vice president. We shouldn't take vice presidency to be a ceremonial thing like this sort of concept. If it was ceremonial by this time, the constitution of this country would have been circumvented when Donald Trump was asking the vice president, but the vice president in his capacity as the number 2 person withheld the constitution. So we need vice president is very important, and we need to start asking the people what would be their assigned responsibility. If there's any other thing, we don't just want to give all of the powers to the president. But time has caught up with us. What do we expect? What are we taking home this evening?
So let me say so. The Constitution, I think, defines the role of the vice president like Liberia. The vice president should assist the president on the day-to-day running of the country. It's clear. But people make sure to say that the vice president cannot do anything.
He can't do anything.
No, I said that how the people look at it.
No, I understand. I mean, I just don't like that. We cannot devalue the value of the vice presidency.
Yeah. So let me just say one before I'm closing. One of my point I wanted to raise, where our colleague that were here who left he said from the southeast. I raised that issue, And for me, I don't say things and back down from it when I have empirical evidence. Say he doesn't know, he come to tell me that the people from Lofa County are the one that are running the government.
It's not true.
I mean, you sincerely mean that? Mean that? Okay, let me give you something. The Minister of State, Blambo, from the Southeast. The President Pro Tem from the Southeast. The Speaker from the Southeast. The Deputy Speaker from the Southeast.
Finance.
The Maritime Boss from the Southeast. Finance from the Southeast. The Minister of Transportation from the Southeast. The Minister of Gender from the Southeast. The Governor of the Bank from the Southeast. The boss of NSA from the Southeast. Should I go on? What are you talking about?
Go on.
What are you talking about? The foreign minister, the foreign minister from Lofa.
And that the Lofa may I know.
Name me 4 ministers. I'm talking about deputy assistant minister. Name me 4 ministers that in that government from Lofa. And when I come to talk, then you say you want to take exception. That's a wrong exception you're taking.
You have forgotten the LPRC managing director from the Southeast.
Okay. The Minister of Agriculture, Copper, from the Southeast. So what I said that? I said that being tribalistic. The same people today, the Georgia we are government accused Ellen Johnson Sirleaf of nepotism and favoritism.
Clarence, did you say? Oh yeah, talk now that when he said Clarence, or when Clarence said LRA boss, where you need now talk about?
From the Southeast. From the Southeast.
The forestry director.
So forestry director from the Southeast. So what is that lie that I'm telling you? That you say I try to bring division in the country?
No, you forgot to more. There are 3 Supreme Court judges from the Southeast.
3 Supreme Court judges.
We're not going to do a song with Southeast here, guys.
What is there? My brother, come back. Also, we can have the discussion. What is there that I'm talking that a device or line? When CDC accused Ellen
Johnson adding more the Chief Justice.
Yes, that's it. So what is there? I'm talking that is line, not a device. So is that only people from the Southeast that qualify to run Liberia?
Gay, we already running up. We're not doing call again, but let's go tomorrow. Okay, guys. I need to have my turn now. So
then you can go in your share. But when I have evidence, I will come back strongly to defend it. But this week, over the Ministry of Transport, people are closing the Ministry of Transport gate. They say they are not taking pay. So, and this week we don't know what drama will unfold again. Maybe it will be the opposition or the ruling party.
All right. Thank you so much.
Something new in Liberia.
Okay, guys. Mala Jones.
Yeah.
What are we going with and what do we expect in the next 24 hours?
My only worry here is that the future for Joseph Boakai to become the next president is bleak. With all the wrangling issues, vice president and the complacency of the party, the campaign, the United Party is so inactive now. I don't even see them places, their whole campaign machinery. I don't know what happened to it. I have not seen even anybody going to Basel or even Cape Mount or even Mike Gibby. So I'm a little bit worried. And we have only 6 more months here. And all these things are adding to George Weah's ticket, adding to his winning ticket. This is my worry, you see. And the next thing now is, I just want to tell the panel that I may not be on the platform for the next 3 weeks. I'm going on campus on doctoral boot camp, and I'm going to defend my proposal. And I will be back in the last week of April. So you keep me in your prayer, especially the Labor Progressive. I sure you're going to find space in there to pray for me, for my success. And I sure.
Why you pointing my man out?
No, one thing I noticed about the Liberal, when you in your direction, it's like shower of blessing.
All right. That's obviously it's Mally Jones. We will keep you in prayer, and it's good that you mentioned that as well. But I trust you, everything gonna go well. Hey,
Okay.
Libra, you having headache?
No, no, but my prediction it just happened to be. I'm very smart. Like I said, Dr. Tipote, Dr. Famler, Dr. Sawyer, and now Dr. Malice.
Oh my
I
goodness!
told you guys. I told you. But anyway, Doc, soon to be Doc. Congratulations, and we'll pray that you'll be successful, and
Thank you.
we will have love to have you here as well. With that behind your back, and I think these things are difficult to come by, and many of you have sacrificed a lot to get to where you are, and I will appreciate it. Mr. So, happy birthday to you! Today your birthday. I think it is quite fitting now to say happy birthday.
After forcing. Huh?
And that's all that I can say. And say good night to all of you. Oh, one other thing. The program we're gonna have tomorrow. I think we're gonna continue with this software that the management want us to use. I think we'll try to stay away from the other one because I want all of us to participate. So, Mr. George, as usual, we will come in and do our monologue, and then you help us. But this time it's going to be on camera to help us to do the closing if you can. But it's going to be on camera.
I will be on.
I'm not inviting
Well,
you.
Mr. So, I
What about-
discovered one secret about the liberal. I follow two of his program. Yes.
Yeah.
And the liberal have got one outstanding feature that I also like. He's a very good listener. So I can be surprised when he interfering. I listen to the liberal listening to one caller
He is
for
unbalanced.
for almost 15 minutes uninterrupted. I said, oh my God, this is the other side of the
No,
liberal.
when he come here, he'll be combative. When he come here, he become combative. He won't see us.
That's who he is. But he
He
wasn't here when he said he's unstable, he's unbalanced, nothing is guaranteed with him. That's who he is. Okay, guys, I want to thank you so much for sharing this evening with us. We just got to keep our country in prayer. I mean, these politicians, they need to come forward. I mean, we don't understand what's going on. And then at the end of the day, they will come say, oh, this happened, that happened, because you are not doing enough. They are not pumping the money. If they have the money is going into wrong hands. Campaign to win election, it requires time, resources, good investment. If you don't do it, forget it. Guys, have a pleasant evening, and thank you so much, as usual, your commitment to this network and to the people of Liberia. And Malice, Malice, we're going to keep you in prayer, definitely. And then when you come back after that, then we're going to pop the champagne right here with your doctorate degree. And you see, the liberal, he can make some prediction too also. God, he tell me, you know, he the gas is small, he say, this guy, look at that, Amos Sawyer, triple train, concomitant Sawyer, then train mayor. Okay, guys, you have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye. All right. Okay, to our men and viewers, we want to thank you so much for your time, to your evening with us here, and to all of you that extend best wishes to us, despite our different political differences. Sometimes our tone, our language, it doesn't pivot in your political favor, but despite of that, you still keep hanging in there to listen to us. That's the beauty of conversation, dialogue. You don't necessarily have to agree with me. But we need to start having this conversation as a people, as a nation. Yes, I must listen to you, and you should listen to me. And that's what we want our politicians to do. But more or less, they don't want to listen to us. They want us to listen to them. And we have to create a compelling situation. We need more out of them. Don't let them just come and give you on top of the food, and you don't even know there's nothing guaranteed whether that cornbread or rice bread is properly baked. You could see the surface there will be nice and cool, but you want to look the other part. That's what these politicians, they are not doing. They need to come clean. Yes, they need to. Why can't we know? Why up to this point in time? How many days? How many months now? And yet and still you say they want to what? Adopt the American style? Oh, 3 months you can still elect a president? Really? Do they know the risk that is involved? We think they need to do more. They need to tell us exactly who they are, what they represent, and what they have in common. We need to perhaps start discussing with their policy advisor, foreign policy, domestic policy. Who's going to drive their education agenda, agriculture? Nothing. You can't just be having their supporter, surrogate, chief of staff. No, the work of a chief of staff there is different. To regulate the activity, the schedule, the routines of the president. But I want to know, for example, who's going to be the foreign, the policy advisor. And when we start talking, we start hearing this person who will be talking about communities, White House policy. Then we know potentially that person, when one of them is elected, will be the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Oh no. All of the folks, it is a talk show host, commentators, just telling us, so how will their government looks like? Are they waiting to when they get power before we see how they're structured? If their parties, if their institutions are not well structured in terms of how they're channeling their messages, their tone, their language, their communication style, they need to come forth with information. If they are not doing that, the probability of them doing the same, if they are elected to go as president and vice president, it will be the same thing. Then we're going to come back to the same issues that we are facing today. We need to get a presidential press secretary or the press secretary to the campaign. We saw, for example, Biden campaigns when we saw Jen Psaki was the face of the campaign, talking on critical issue. So one could make that guess she was going to be the press secretary to the White House. That's the own Minister of Information. But we have multiple tones, voices. Boyka will not do this. Coming will not do this. And you see a lot of things get in the airspace and they will not even come and address those issues. Yet they want us to believe them, to trust them, that they can do it better. So then nothing is guaranteed that they can do it better. We want to tell you, look, I don't want to buy P in bed. I don't want to, and I don't think Liberia needs that for now. Yes, the calling for replacement is good, but I need to know what going. If you're taking the candy from a child, you got to throw something back. That's sort of barter system exchange. Take one thing and put something there so the child can cry. But we are not saying that. Much is not being done. Until then, folks, thank you so much. And I really, really do appreciate all of you, people that agree, disagree, and those who didn't even send it. No problem. I mean, people have their own things going on in their lives. Somebody don't wish you a happy birthday. That's not the end of the world. You don't even know what other people are going through. But I really, really do appreciate your comments, your tweets, your interactions, the voice messages, the text, whatever forms of medias of exchange, communication, we receive it. But I just want to use this time to say we wholeheartedly appreciate your engagement on this network. Thank you so much, and we are blessed to have you always. Bye-bye.
Today na your birthday, na the day where you come to join the people wey be don stay for this world before you come home. Anything wey you see for this world, whether good or bad, make you take am so. Na so everybody come meet the world. We the advice you say.
Yeah, that's Prince Nego. And interestingly, just 3 days apart, my beautiful daughter, she too will be observing a birthday in the next 3 days. Today, the second on the 5th. Little blessing, Q. She's, hey, Daddy, you don't celebrate her birthday. I said, no, I told her, now you will celebrate it. Make it, it will go blast. And I know she's going to send me some good shot images from Liberia. So she's going to be having her birthday is on the 5th. So, you can celebrate to own. I can't celebrate. I'm just grateful to the Lord that I'm alive, that I have the strength to wake up, to talk, to have a conversation with my people. That is enough. Nothing else I need. There are others who today still finding it difficult. They are in hospitals. They are extending their hands to people to feed them, to give them a drink and all of that. So it surpasses every other thing. Let a young one celebrate. What is going on? Our country comes first. That is important. I could have chose to have this day off, but that would be a breach of confidence of our people. There's a covenant, there's a treaty we literally sign, and we are committed of doing that. The liberal progressive, one of the ugliest voices on this network, tomorrow his birthday as well. Samson Bloku Bronto, please keep in prayer as well. And to all of you celebrating today, this week, next week, probably to you, our followers, please let us know. I know Facebook sometimes send notification, but sometimes people don't grab it. There's a need that we also reward you of your commitment to this network. If you're having your birthdays, if you can just shoot me a message test, we can do it. We can celebrate you here and give you how you call it? Give you a billboard background here and for your commitment for the good of your country. Let us know. Just let us know. It's not going to cost you anything. Let us know. But if you want to give it, we will not stop it. Thank you so much and have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.
Anyone where you they walk, make you put your mind there. I walk and fine, make you know they talk like, make a yes be yes, you know be no, then you go live well for this world. So God will bless you, give you long life, give you many birthdays again. So God will bless you, give you long life, give you many birthdays again. Say thanks to you. Happy birthday to you. You go live long for say thanks to you. We beg God to give happy you many birthday to you. Say thanks to you. Happy birthday to you. We did the born you. Say thanks to you. How many months ago? Happy birthday to you. How many weeks ago? Say thanks to you. How many years happy ago? Happy birthday to you. You go live long for this world. Mama, yeah.
Oh, so Mr. Fumba MCC is monitoring from Senko, Mantadi Senko. Thank you so much. If somebody is using their own data to use, they could have used that money to do something to turn in, then we must appreciate it, and then any other one. But those people from Lofa turning in, we want to say thank you so much. And I see why Format, thank you so much. And this is your first time. We say you are wholeheartedly welcome on this network. We are here Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesday, Fridays, and Saturday, Sunday. More days to come here. Even good to have you. Thank all of you here. I don't want to call name because when I start calling here, then I'm going to get myself into trouble. But trust me, all of you, directly, indirectly, nothing is late. Even if you don't send it, I assume today is a Palm Sunday. People have time with their families and all of that. I'm a guy who draws a line of reasoning. Trust me. But we want to thank you so much for your commitment to this network. We strongly, it is because of you, we got to keep this, we got to keep it going. Yet we all have differences. And I know sometimes we talk some things here, that doesn't sound right. But guess what? You are always here on the basis of that. You take your country at heart. And so don't mind what we say here. hold us accountable, hold us responsible on some of the things. You saw why in Evans Day here tonight. Yeah, they can put the guys in check too, including all of us. And that's what we're supposed to be doing. We shouldn't just say, make any statement, just walk scar-free. No, sometimes go and check and see whether it can be validated. If not, you come by here the next day, tell us, and then we'll say, oh, we're sorry. You know, that's how it's supposed to be. We all must be, we're talking about change, the change we want in Liberia. If you change the hair and the top part, the bottom not change, trust me, it's the same. Oh, thank you so much, SB. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we must all hold people to account. All of us, everybody, support us. If you're supporting somebody, instead of preaching the person's agenda, the person's message, how do we do it? And you come, you insult, you try creating, adding more views, it doesn't either help the person as well. So we have to keep everything in check. Guys, have a pleasant day. I will leave you with this beautiful gospel music, Let It Go. We are in New Year. If anybody, I don't think I ever blacked somebody here. I'm not sure. What was a guy who was doing here? But let's let it go, no matter why it is. Bye-bye. Interestingly, that boy going to be in our subsequent conversations. This book, trust me, is a Liberian. The author is a Liberian, legendary journalist, award winner. It's been satisfied in this country as well. We're going to be bringing you more details. It is our understanding it will be approved by WIAC and it will be used in Liberia. So there are a lot of time, energy, resources. It's a scholarly book. If you have not had a copy, go on Amazon. The Liberty Hijack is still available. If you are within the New England belt, you can contact me as well. It's still available. Go on to Amazon and you can order. And you will know the in-depth of the history of your country. Liberty Hijack. It's very detailed book that explains some of the hidden things that we don't know. There was a lot I learned from this book as well. So I want to encourage you to go on Amazon. The author is Kai G. Wlet, and just write Liberty Hijack. You're going to see it's available on Amazon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Yeah, let's get going. Let it go. Yeah, me let it go. Master Jesus, let it go. Yeah, me let it go. Go, go.